This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social, and I'm delighted to be joined by Eddie Hearn. Eddie, fresh off a plane from Mexico.
I don't know about fresh, but off a plane from Mexico, straight here. It was a good night. First night of boxing in Peterborough, great atmosphere, big win for Jordan Gill, and good, ready to go back to America next week.
When you come back to these types of events, it's a small hall show. Does it bring back maybe a bit more love for the sport, like a different form of passion maybe?
The love's there, you know. It doesn't matter if it's 500 people or 50,000 people. Boxing's boxing. What I love about these JD Next Gen shows is you get the chance to watch the younger kids grow into big championship fights. So you saw two guys, particularly tonight, in Richard Riakporhe and Jordan Gill, come through that little challenge, you know, and with all these great older generation guys retiring, De Gale, Groves, Bellew, you know, Hay, these kind of people, it's up to the likes of, you know, Anthony Sims Jr. and Riakporhe and Jordan Gill to come and see if they can do it. You know, we've seen other fighters step up. Ted Cheeseman stepped up for the European, couldn't quite get there. He'll come again. But, you know, these are the generations that are going to be those De Gales and Groves and those kind of guys. So I thought it was a great performance, and, you know, like I said, it doesn't matter where we are. Boxing is life.
Always selling any.
Oh, look, see me, I'm gonna lay low now. You know, like I'm just gonna. Yeah.
Let's just work quite quickly through the card then. Jordan Gill, another impressive performance. Really, Was you surprised by the fact that he was able to get out someone who's only been stopped by a world champion?
Well, yeah, we took on Dominguez because he's boxed at world level. I think he's only been stopped by Navarrete, who just beat Dogbo. But he's so fast, Jordan Gill, and, you know, Dominguez comes to fight, but unfortunately every time he was unloading he was getting hit by 6-7 shots. So I thought it was a great performance, and I think Dave Coldwell's done a great job with him. I think he wants to move at a decent pace. I think Kiko Martinez for the European title was a great fight for him, but he's exciting to watch. He's got fast hands, he's got great feet, and I think, you know, when you excite like that, people are going to want to tune in.
Next up for Jordan, what have you got lined up? It's going to be hard to match him now on the back of that performance.
Yeah, and he's had a lot of fights, but he hasn't had many tests. I think Kiko Martinez is a great step. He holds the European title. Everybody knows him. You know, he's a former world champion. He's got a great chin. He can punch. But, you know, we need to see Jordan now step up a level. There's the Ryan Walsh fight as well. I think he's a great fight. But, you know, the future's great for him. He's ready to go. He's fresh. Didn't have a great camp, but he's, you know, he come through unscathed, and he'll be looking to get out in the summer.
Riakporhe McCarthy, another devastating performance from Richard Riakporhe.
It was. And, you know, I didn't think he looked that great in the Sam Hyde fight. I think it's coming very early to him. He's had like 9 fights now. I think he was eight wins before. But when you're stepping up on this stage, what he learned in the Hyde fight, he put into practice tonight. He was much more composed. His shape was much better. He used his jab much more. His defence was good. And he can punch very, very hard. I mean, you have two young, big punching cruiserweights in a Coley and Riakporhe. One day that's going to be a big, big fight. And, you know, I saw a bit of beef tonight with Dillian Whyte, and, you know, you got it's interesting. It's an interesting mix, but Riakporhe really shone through tonight, like definitely one to watch.
And Anthony Sims Jr. with another terrific performance. Talk about your plans for him now.
Really good. I mean, look, he loves fighting in the UK, but he is American. You know, and we do have an American platform over there, and DAZN are looking at Anthony Sims Jr. saying, "Can we have him over here, please?" And the fans want him over here. So, look, he needs to have a bigger challenge now. But also, a lot of it has been about coming down to 168 because he was at 175. Why he was boxing at 175, I will never know. I mean, he didn't look like he struggled to make 160. I think he's 169. He had his socks on and everything. But super middle is going to be a fun weight for him. He can punch. Obviously, we know he has great feet. He's skilled, and he's almost ready to go. So he'll box April 26 in Los Angeles at the Forum, and I'm excited about him. You know, he's a very, very classy fighter.
Now, a couple of things I just wanted to pick you up on away from this card. Start off with your social media interactions with Stephen Espinoza. He leaked this little segment of what he said was a contract. You said you didn't receive anything. What exactly was it? What exactly's gone on there?
I haven't seen that. He said that he sent a contract. Then I questioned him on it. He said, well, no, we didn't send you a contract. We sent you a 3-page email. I've not received to my email any 3-page document. Never. No one has ever sent a contract to us for that fight. And I told him, show the contract. You know, at one hand he says, "Oh, I'm not gonna divulge that kind of information." Yet then he's talking about AJ's previous deal with Showtime, which I had to expose him on as well. So he's frustrated because he's banging trouble at the moment in the heavyweight mix, and obviously he hasn't got Joshua, he hasn't got Wilder, and he hasn't got Fury under contract. So, you know, he's not in a great spot. But, you know, I just said to him, just show it. I don't mind, just show it. Oh no, I'm not going to do that. So, you know, I asked for the contract multiple times. We never, ever, ever received the contract. Not me, not anybody else. And ultimately, not from him, not from Wilder. I mean, he says Wilder sent the contract. Firstly, what the fuck is Wilder doing sending a contract? And he never sent a contract anyway. So we need to move on. We want to try and make that fight. We're just going around in circles. So we're ready to open discussions for that fight, not moan at each other on Twitter about something that happened 6 months ago.
Since then as well, Wilder Fury's been put back. Tyson's opted to fight somebody else. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that rematch will happen at some point now?
No, I don't. I don't think that rematch will happen now. It's all very well moving to a new platform, but if it means you won't get a shot at the world title, it's not great if that's what you're actually bothered about. I think Wilder will now fight Brazil, and hopefully he'll fight AJ. I think Fury will have an easy fight in May or June. Listen, good luck to him. He's making a load of money, and like his last purse, of course, he gave that away to charity, didn't he? So Fury has done a deal that he feels just benefits him. Good luck to him, and I can't see him fighting Wilder anytime soon. But maybe Wilder will hop to ESPN. Anything's possible, But of course, Heyman and Showtime will be desperately clinging now to Deontay Wilder.
Since then as well, Deontay Wilder's come out and said that he's ready for AJ next. I'm sure you'd have seen it. What are your thoughts on that?
Let's talk then. Then return the calls, return the emails. Let's have a meeting. Very straightforward. First of all, he says we don't want it. Now he's saying he's up for that fight. So answer the emails, answer the calls. We just want to chat. We don't want to slag anyone off. We just want to talk about it. You can't make a fight unless you have a chat about it. So it is frustrating, but I do think the path is clear now to make that fight.
When AJ Miller was announced, there was a bit of stick that went towards Anthony Joshua. But now if you look at it,
like the best fight
that's what I was about to ask. Wilder Brazil might happen. Fury might fight Cuba at Pew level, somebody else. Do you feel a bit justified now?
It's the best fight in the heavyweight division in the first half of the year. It might end up being the best fight of the division the whole year. Who knows? It's a good fight between an unbeaten American with a loud mouth, who's entertaining, who's a tough to beat, against the unified heavyweight champion of the world in New York against a guy from New York. It's a great fight.
And obviously this leaves Dillian Whyte in limbo once again. What are your plans with him now?
Well, he's mandatory. He's in the mandatory fight with the WBC. So what we're saying to the WBC and Maurizio is, if you allow Wilder to fight Brazil, that should be a voluntary defence, because the mandatory fight is Brazil against Whyte. So if he pulls out of that fight, Dillian should become the mandatory, and that's what we'll be campaigning for.
We're waiting on news as well for Alexander Usyk's next move. Any hints?
No, the Povetkin fight is a possibility. Takam we're talking about as well. It's just whether he fights Povetkin now or whether he fights someone like Takam then Povetkin, which we'll unearth this week.
Obviously, Usyk's one of the best talents in boxing. Is it hard to match him for his first fight at heavyweight?
I think, people, there's some unanswered questions at heavyweight. So maybe people might think this is a good time to fight him at heavyweight. Maybe after May 18, no one will want to fight him. So we'll see. But, no one's jumping at it, but I think Usyk's going to be a big star at heavyweight.
And finally, because I know you're going to want to see your family and see less of me now, Danny Jacobs and Canelo for the tour, how's it gone?
It's been amazing, I'm so proud to see Danny on a platform like that, on a stage like that. I can't tell you how pumped and up for this fight he is. He's so confident of winning this fight. The tour has been unbelievable. New York, then Mexico City yesterday, LA on Monday, and he's loving it, and we really, really feel that he can win on May 4th.
I saw this one video of Danny on a jet towards Mexico, dancing and all that. Is that what he's like?
He's so happy because he's wanted this moment for a long time, and everyone knows what he's been through. It's one of the greatest comeback stories in boxing. But he's just so up for this fight, and body language means a lot, And I really believe he's going to beat Canelo on May 4th.
Yeah, and I appreciate your time. Thanks for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.